Your shampoo is destroying your hair. That shampoo that's so fantastic is drying your hair out, it's making it more brittle, and it's potentially causing more breakage. And here's why. Okay, let's be straight. You spend a lot of time, you spend energy, you spend money on your hair, and you want it to look good. You don't want to damage it. I get it. That's why I hear this all the time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you flat iron your hair. That's crazy. It's so damaging. Oh, I would never use shampoos and conditioners and stuff like that. Those products are horrible for your hair. Color? What are you, nuts? Color makes your hair fall out. But here's the thing. There are some things right now that you're probably doing to your hair that you don't even know are just as bad, if not in some cases even worse, when it comes to damaging your hair. So that's what I'm gonna share with you today. And we're gonna do that right now. Now, first of all, if you're new to me, my name is Justin Hickox, and I've been doing hair for 25 years, and I've owned my own salon for 20. And what I like to do on this channel is share tips, things to make your hair life a little easier. So if hair is important to you and you want it to be simple, you're gonna wanna go ahead and make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And do that right now so that you get notified every Tuesday when I bring out a brand new video. I'm gonna set you right here. My first tip is pretty straightforward, guys, and it is something that I see all the time. It's simply not knowing how to address tangles in your hair. This is what happens. People get tangly hair, they come in and they start whacking those tangles out, right? Start combing those bad boys out. Get that out. Okay, yes, technically speaking, that takes tangles out. Some cases, depending on how much or how easily your hair tangles, it may not take the tangles out. But in any scenario, it's always more aggressive doing it this way, and it's always potentially far more damaging, especially if you have finer hair. So instead of doing that, what I prefer to do is use this. This is my brush that I love. This is called a wet brush. Heads up, I'll be linking this in the description below, so anything I use today, you'll know where you can simply find it. But the key is, first of all, you need to start combing from the bottom and then comb up your hair to move the tangles. This is gonna allow yourself to dress those tangles in a far less damaging way. So you take your hair, and if it gets really tangly, you grab that section and you start at the bottom and you comb up until you have those tangles out. Now, the reason I like this particular brush is because, one, it's easier on your hair. Because of the way that these actual bristles move, they're not so rigid, so they produce less stress on your hair. Also, it's easier on your scalp and your hair in general. So we find that people that have sensitive scalps swear by these because they do just take the tangles out a little bit easier. Okay, my next tip, your shampoo is destroying your hair. Yeah, right? That amazing, incredible stripping shampoo that takes out all of that buildup that your hair gets on a day-to-day basis. That shampoo that's so fantastic is drying your hair out, it's making it more brittle, and it's potentially causing more breakage. Shampoos that are strong, that strip out all of the dirt from your hair, also strip out natural oils. Your hair needs some of those natural oils to maintain its condition and its health. So when you strip all of that natural oil out along with the dirt, the problem is you're taking those oils out, therefore you make your hair more brittle and more susceptible to breaking. I have here two shampoos. One's called Fresh Start, one's called Silk Shampoo. If you use this every day or every time you shampoo, your hair is gonna be dried out. This, on the other hand, is called Silk Shampoo. This is a daily shampoo. This is something that you're supposed to use every time you shampoo to just lightly clean the hair of most of the grime and buildup that you're getting, and the probability is high that you're gonna get more than enough of the oil out, more than enough of the dirt out, and you're not gonna take out so much oil that you're stripping your hair of necessary natural oils. Here's the crazy thing. Do you know that your blow dryer could be damaging your hair even worse than a flat iron? When I first started cutting hair, too long ago, what made a good blow dryer was the air pressure that came out of the blow dryer. That was what separated one blow dryer from the next. And then it changed and it became about the way it delivered heat or how hot the blow dryer got. The problem with this is people don't understand how to utilize the blow dryers correctly, and therefore that heat can be very damaging when used incorrectly. So the simple question comes, well, what's incorrectly? What are you doing wrong? Well, first of all, you gotta understand how it's delivering the heat. Most blow dryers just shoot a stream of air out of the blow dryer. If you're taking a section of hair in a brush, right, and you're doing this, the blow dryer is just indiscriminately throwing heat at this strand. We wanna be able to control where that heat is actually hitting the hair. And the way we do that is through using attachments like this. These attachments, or these air concentrators, are a great way of making sure that that air is going from one side to the other side of your brush. It's distributed more evenly, and you're able to control where that airflow is going, so you can control the amount of heat that you're putting on specific parts of your hair. And that leads me into my next tip that's actually much more concerning, if I'm being completely honest. Hold your hand out, turn your blow dryer on, and just allow that air to directly intersect the palm of your hand. And see how long you can hold that blow dryer like this before it gets too hot and your hand's like, melting, done, it's on fire, I'm out. Now, instead, do this. Put your palm face down and let that air go over your palm and not hit it directly. You'll notice that you can do it a lot longer like this than you can when it's like this. It's just less direct heat in one specific spot on the palm of your hand. We unknowingly do exactly that to our hair. What happens, especially when people are using brushes, you don't want to do this. You want to drop your elbow, drop your shoulder, because it's more convenient, it's a little bit more comfortable. And what ends up happening is you do this, and then you hold the blow dryer like this, and that air is going right here. It's concentrated on that one area, and that is adding a ton of heat to that area and ultimately potentially melting it, especially if you're not moving it. So what you want to do instead is get that round brush or that brush in the hair and get that blow dryer up above the section, facing down the section, so that you can do this while you're constantly moving it. And that is going to help to smooth the cuticle down, but more importantly, it's going to help to make sure that you're not putting all of that direct air pressure onto one part of your hair and ultimately potentially melting it. Okay, now speaking of heat, since we're talking about heat, let's talk about a big one, using the wrong flat iron. Now, there's a reason that there are specific irons, for instance, that I like as a stylist that I use in my salon and I recommend to all of my clients. And one of those reasons is the way they distribute heat across the plate. So what you want to pay attention to is how that heat is distributed. This is why once the ceramic technology came out, everybody was all over it. Back in the day, irons had metal plates and they didn't distribute the heat evenly across the entire surface area of the plate very well. And that meant that there were hot spots, which would mean that when you put an iron in your hair, it's going to be uneven. So when you pull that section through, your hair isn't going to be smooth from side to side, and it's going to look like you're going to need to pass through it again and again to get that all equally smooth across the entire section. Then when they moved into ceramic technology, which a lot of the new irons have now, the ceramic plates heat a lot more evenly. Now the Infrashine iron, one of my favorites, if I'm honest, I'll link it below. It's not just ceramic coated, it's a ceramic plate, which means again, it's going to distribute the heat more evenly across that plate. So I know when I put this in hair, I'm gonna get the same amount of heat all the way across this plate. It's gonna be a lot faster, more efficient, which means less damage. So that's one of the reasons I love this. It's also a solid price point. It's like $100. Now, with that said, we also wanna make sure that we keep that temperature down closer to 400 or below. Now there is another iron that I really like, and I've done a review on it. I'll link it right here if you wanna check it out. And that is the Dyson flat iron. Now the reason that I like this one specifically, yes, it is a lot more expensive. However, it does get the same results as other irons at a lower heat point, which means less damage. So if you're a person that is really concerned about damaging your hair and you are using irons, something like this, while it is quite a bit more expensive, actually can make the difference in your hair's damage. But what I like about this is because these plates actually flex, this is the first iron to do this, it means that when you put this hair section in the iron, it's going to keep that section inside of these plates, which is why they can get the same results out of having this iron at say 365 degrees versus the 400 degrees that most irons need to yield those same results. Manipulation to your hair can be a killer. Many people pull their hair back in a ponytail. Maybe you need to get it back for work, maybe you're working out, maybe you just want to get it out of your face. If you're pulling it back into something where you're dealing with a small overall surface area, the smaller the surface area is of whatever you're using to hold your hair back, the more stress it's gonna put on your hair at that one point, and therefore the more damage that it's gonna cause. So the larger surface area you have, the less stress it's gonna put on your hair in that place, and the less it's gonna damage your hair. There are other times where you wanna pay close attention. When you're sitting in the car and you put your seatbelt on, is that seatbelt pinching those ends and rubbing against it? And that constant irritation is that and splitting those ends and making them look damaged. You also want to think about if you're wearing a purse, where is that purse strap hitting your shoulder? Is your hair getting tucked under that strap? Is that strap causing more tension and ultimately causing more damage on that hair? Or if you're sitting in your car a lot and your hair is just long enough that it's pressing against your shoulder blades, is that pressure constantly rubbing back and forth against those ends of your hair? And that alone can be enough to start to break those ends up a little bit more and start to damage them. All of those things are potentially damaging your hair. There's a playlist right here. Watch that. It's gonna walk you through all of the processes, the step-by-steps on how to actually use a flat iron, how to use a round brush, how to get curl, how to get it straight, all the rights and wrongs, so you can see what it looks like for you at home to do it the right way. Otherwise, I appreciate you hanging out. I'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you. Take care.